Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens face off with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. If you would have told me that this would be a pair of 1 and 2 teams going into this matchup, I would have said you're crazy. These are two of the best teams in the AFC conference, yet here we are. The loser of this game will have a 1-3 record. Both of them relatively inauspicious starts to the 2025 regular season. The Baltimore Ravens fresh off of a disappointing performance against the Detroit Lions. Now, the offensive line got a ton of criticism the past week. I believe in fairness. Lamar Jackson at times can inflate those statistics for what Detroit had, which was 7 sacks, holds on to the ball, really tries to create. He has the second lowest rate of throwaways, less than one a game in 2024. He likes to create plays. Sometimes there is a game like against the Detroit Lions where they just guess right instead of left and they can bring him down in the backfield, and they had their night. You have to give Detroit all the credit in the world. Kansas City Chiefs, after the 0-2 start, tough one against the Los Angeles Chargers, getting a little bit picked apart by Justin Herbert. Week 2 against Philadelphia, one that felt like got away from them. And then last week, a positive response against the New York Giants. Was it the type of offensive performance they wanted? No, but defensively, they did everything that they wanted to do, being able to limit the best player on the Giants team, which is Malik Neighbors. He was a non-factor in that game. That's exactly where I will start with the breakdown, because what do great coordinators do? What does Steve Spagnuolo do when he's going into one of these big matchups? Well, he'll have to decide. Is it taking away Derrick Henry? Is it removing Lamar Jackson's legs as possible in the run game? Is it taking away his number one threat? Mark Andrews, a very positive sign for Baltimore, a great touchdown grab in that game, a couple of other very nice catches. He came alive for the first time in what felt like a while. The end of last year, really negative for him. You felt for him so much of that drop against Buffalo, but a nice response. If I'm Spagnuolo, I'm taking away Mark Andrews in the middle of the field. That's the safety blanket. Lamar's even said, we always start off slow, but then we get Mark Andrews going the rest of the season. I think that's Zay Flowers. He's a key player in this one. Look for Trent McDuffie to shadow him at times. Flowers versatile in where he can line up, being able to play different offensive positions as a wide receiver. But the question that just about all the analysts, anyone is asking, Derrick Henry, another very impactful fumble in the game against the Detroit Lions. That's a fumble in each of the games to start the 2025 season. The Ravens need him to bounce back immediately. This is already not do or die, but it's pretty close to it. You can't afford to lose to Buffalo and then to Kansas City, two teams that, even if the Chiefs are 1-2, Chargers are 3-0 in the race for playoff seeding. These are incredibly important games. If I am the Baltimore Ravens, what do I take away? It's the creativity of Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying take away Kelce. I'm not saying take away Hollywood Brown or Isaiah Pacheco, because frankly, they haven't gotten the run game going except for Mahomes, the leading rusher for the Kansas City Chiefs through 3 games as of this point, which is a crazy statistic. I'm taking away Mahomes' ability to extend and create. How do you do that? Keep him in the pocket. Do not let him get outside of there, extended, create what we've seen him do 1,000 times with the backyard football style plays, and then he finds somebody on a 3rd and 8. How else do you limit that? Well, it's pressure. I would really expect to see Baltimore ramp up the pressure, getting Roquan Smith involved, one of the more athletic, best linebackers in the National Football League, using him as not just a spy, but he's a rusher coming after him, but also if Mahomes is looking to extend the play, that he will track him down. It's a similar type of role that we have seen Roquan do in the past. Now, what worries me about the Chiefs' offensive line, and it's not just because of a performance where they had less than 4 yards of carry against the New York Giants. That's a very good defensive front. Burns, Thibodeau, they've got all of those guys up there. Just drafted Abdul Carter. It's no knock to rush for 105 yards only on 23 attempts. Philadelphia not running the ball a ton for a bunch of success. Like, that's maybe still the best defense in football, and still they're almost 5 yards a carry. The Chargers against the Baltimore Ravens, another very good defense. So it does help you that you've faced a lot of these teams. Can we commit? Can we get Isaiah Pacheco more carries? Because that's what I mean when I say concerned is Mahomes. He just can't be taking the hits that he had so far at this point in the season. I can't remember, maybe you do, a point in his career where he's been scrambling around this much trying to create. Of course, that's because he doesn't have the weapons. He doesn't have Rice, doesn't have Xavier Worthy to create separation, to go to those guys consistently. He just doesn't have the weapons to spread the football around and to have the opportunity to release and get the ball out, which is leading him to holding on to the football longer. He gets hit more. He's having to take off and run it more. As a Chiefs fan, very concerning because that is a Baltimore defense that can cover well. I know Marlon Humphrey got burnt a couple of times by Amon-Ra St. Brown, but he might be the best wide receiver in football this year. I'd put him right up there with Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson as far as the production and the way he's playing ball right now, especially if you factor in their quarterback and who they're playing with as of this point. Marlon Humphrey, he's a guy that has to step up. They love him in man coverage. Roquan Smith, he got beat by Laporta in that game. They need their best players in these big moments. Malachi Starks as well. It seemed like Sam Laporta, I believe, was able to get the best of each of the safeties. The rookie back there, Malachi Starks, is improving. He's getting better. You like the production, what you've seen from him so far already. Gaining more confidence in that defense in the back end. Mike Green getting in more rotations. The second rounder that people thought could be a top 10 pick for Baltimore offensively. How am I trying to attack Kansas City? Well, Chris Jones is still one of the most dominant defensive forces in the league. How do we find a way to still get Derrick Henry involved? You can't lose faith. It looked like at times that there was bad body language from Lamar Jackson. I get it. He's a fierce competitor. He always wants to win, play a great football game. He's going against Detroit. He's getting hit. He's getting frustrated. But Derrick Henry, it's not a meltdown, but it certainly was a tough moment for him after that fumble. Some of your best players, I just don't get right now the culture. Would have liked to see that in a way a bounce back, because at that point it was still a 7-point game. Henry comes back onto the field. They got the stop and forced the field goal attempt, and I want to say it was immediately right after that they have to punt the football away, that Jackson gets sacked. It was an ugly performance all around from Baltimore trying to get back into that football game. So attacking the Kansas City Chiefs, get the football into Zay Flowers early, whether it be a reverse sweep, whether it be a screenplay, a slant. You have to get him involved. He's right now your best weapon to get the football in his hands. And again, like I said, Derrick Henry, this is the type of game where you have to limit the possessions that Patrick Mahomes has the football. It's every time you play Josh Allen, every matchup against Patrick Mahomes, limit him, make sure he doesn't get the football all that much. So that's Derrick Henry, making sure that clock is rolling. It's a road game, very tough environment. These are very hard games to come out there and win at Arrowhead. The 1-2 record you can throw out when you're going up against Patrick Mahomes and these Chiefs that badly want to get to 500. So Derrick Henry, get him to that 20 carry mark. Get him 23, 24 carries. Let him tote the rock. And Lamar, go be you. I'm still emphasizing, if I'm Harbaugh in that offense, that we have to keep our physicality. It just looked like the Detroit Lions with that young unit, no Frank Ragnow, and they're able to come in with Tate Ratledge at guard, and he's having an impeccable performance. There's almost no heat on Jared Goff throughout the entire night, and the offensive line, where's the pride there to keep Lamar Jackson clean just a tad longer? The wide receivers have to run those routes. How do we get open to help out our quarterback? I got to give all the credit to the Detroit Lions in that one. I'm curious what you have to say to this, because this is my prediction for this game. I believe that it's going to be close. Of course, these are two of the best teams in the National Football League, but I have the Baltimore Ravens pulling it out at Kansas City, beating them by a score of 27-24. They pull it off on the road. They beat them 27-24, tight game, and it comes down to the wire. Why do I think they beat the Chiefs? I just love that back end, a ton of the young players that they have, that the run game has been established. Lamar's legs, Henry, get him going, get his confidence back. He's close to breaking one. He always is. Get him back in that confidence. But someone's going to be 1-3. Let me know down below who you think that 1-3 team will be. Will it be the Ravens? And I'm going to be wrong. Will it be the Kansas City Chiefs? And if these teams are 1-3, is there a shot that one of them misses the postseason? Because a 1-3 start, that AFC conference is already starting to look pretty deep. That'll be a pretty rough start for whoever loses this football game. So I appreciate you so much for watching. I make NFL content every single day, as well as college football. So we're immediately now in the swing of it. Week 4 of the NFL season coming up. Week 5 of college football. We're so fired up, excited for it. Make sure to subscribe. Blitz with Blender. This brand is so ready to get into the meat and potatoes of these bigger games now, like these ones that have such an impact on the rest of the year. So I appreciate you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blunder. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Blunder.
To the 40, 35, 30, Espinosa to the 20.